Well, good morning. Welcome to the channel. Today I'm going to talk about how to bird a new area. Today I'm in Rhode Island. If you've been following the channel right along, I have been driving across the East Coast to visit family who live in Connecticut. And my plan today was to bird in Connecticut. This morning I got an email from a local birder who told me that the warblers are just incredible up here on this mountain, and I decided to come out here. And to tell you the truth, I just put the location into my phone and I drove here, and I didn't realize until I crossed the border between Connecticut and Rhode Island that the spot was in Rhode Island. That's how excited I was when I got here. So I'm going to talk today about how to bird a new area, and also I'm going to talk about the American Birder Association decision to change some of the birds' names that are out there. So come along and enjoy this adventure. Well, I just climbed this mountain here, and there's this dirt trail that comes up here. And I was actually sitting up here taking a break, just relaxing, and I looked back and there was a giant black snake. It had to be between 4.5 and 5.5 feet long. To tell you the truth, I don't know much about snakes, and I understand that there are two poisonous snakes here in Rhode Island. There's the copperhead, and this is not copperhead habitat at all, and mountain rattlers, which look nothing like that snake does. But still, I have this, creepy feeling about snakes. I really like taking their pictures, and I love seeing them. Whenever I see a snake, I always try to take its picture because I just find them fascinating. But that's the first animal I photographed up here, and I'm really excited about this. I did trek really hard to get up here. I'm not in the best physical shape, and I'm beginning to realize that more and more every day. But coming up here was a lot of work, and I'm so glad I came just to see that snake. Well, the first thing I do when I get to someplace new is basically just start walking the trails. So there's this trail that goes through this property here. Now, to be fair, this is a wildlife area. This is managed for hunting, so right now there is no hunting going on. But the trail I'm on right here, as I just discovered, it's an illegal motorcycle trail. And I'm not going to go any further down the trail. That's what I find the easiest thing to do when you get to someplace new, is if you can't meet somebody there, which would be the best thing to do, is to meet somebody who knows the area, is to just start walking. And what I did today is I basically walked to where I wanted to stop, and then I turned around and started walking back. And the reason for that is that I wanted to expend as much energy getting here so that I could go back slower. But it's still exciting to be out here. And I always get kind of like a tingly little feeling whenever I go to someplace new. And I love going to new spots, but sometimes it can be very difficult. Somebody posted a list from here, I want to say 5 days ago, and they saw 27 species of birds. And I think I'll be lucky if I get 10 or 12 species of birds. Now, I do not bird by ear. I'm not very good with hearing bird calls, so I have to visually see the birds. But I am having a great time out here. And even though I did run into this motorcycle guy here, I think he knew that what he was doing was illegal, and he kind of just spun around and left. But, I'm going to send the video I took of him, to the game warden here in Rhode Island here, and hopefully they can figure out who that is and prevent him from coming in here. But If that's the worst thing that happens, say it will still be a good day. So what I'm going to do now is I've kind of walked up this mountain here. My goal was to get to the top of this mountain here, and then I'm going to start walking back. And we're going to see what I run into. So, just to make things clear, it is springtime here in Rhode Island. The birds are in their breeding cycles. So I really don't want to disrupt any birds that are breeding. So I'm not going to do any kind of breeding calls or anything like that. I don't do any calling this time of year, simply because I don't want to disrupt any bird in their breeding cycle. But one thing I do is I pitch. I go psh, 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 psh. And that's a distress call of a Carolina wren. And birds will come to see what's going on. So this call does not interfere with their breeding cycle. It doesn't interfere with their behavior. They basically come to see what's going on, and I can take pictures of them. So the first bird I was able to take pictures of was a red-eyed vireo. It's a very common bird in the woods here in Rhode Island. I've been hearing them all the time. But what I've been doing is walking down this trail, and I've been listening for calling. And when I hear a bird calling, I stop and I pitch. And sometimes the bird comes, sometimes it doesn't. The problem with the springtime is that these birds are more focused on breeding than anything else. So you're not going to find them feeding, you're not going to find them. Usually they find an area like this. That's a red-eyed vireo calling right there. They'll find a tree and they'll just start calling from that tree until somebody acknowledges them. And but it's still exciting. Red-eyed vireo is still an exciting bird to get. That was a rough-winged hawk that just flew over, and I just think it's exciting to get pictures of a rough-winged hawk flying over. I mean, they are very common here in the mountains of all the way up, all the way down to North Carolina. But they're a very rare bird to see, and just having the opportunity to take their picture is exciting. So, rough-winged hawk. That's a bird for today. Well, I was just able to photograph a wild turkey. She was in this little opening that's right here, and she just stood here for a few seconds. I saw that she wasn't moving as fast as I thought, and at first I thought she was injured or something like that. And I couldn't get any pictures of them, but the pups, or the baby turkeys, were with her, following her through the woods. So I consider that pretty exciting. They looked like they were literally a day or two old. So what happens is, as soon as all the eggs hatch, the wild turkey abandons the nest and start taking the babies around foraging, which means they're very vulnerable to predators. But this mother is very attentive to the needs of these birds. And I think it takes 10 days for the baby turkeys to get to a point where they can get up in a tree at night so they'll be safe. But these birds are literally nesting on the ground underneath the mother for the next 10 days or so. But it's exciting getting on something like that. I really did not expect to see any turkeys. This area I'm in here is a hunting area, and wild turkeys are definitely hunted in this area here. So I really did not expect to see a turkey. I find that in hunting areas, turkeys are very, very skittish as human beings. And even if they hear you walking, they will just get away from you. But that's bird number 3, a wild turkey. This has been a really, really good day here. I'm glad I did this trek up to the mountain and then I'm walking back. But the sun is getting kind of high, and photographing birds is going to be a little bit difficult. I'm having a great time. Well, I just was able to photograph a black cap chickadee. For a little information there, the black cap chickadees are normally in the northern part of the United States. Carolina chickadees are in the southern part of the United States, but black cap chickadees can be found all the way down the Appalachian Mountain. Now, when you look at these photos here, you say, what's the difference between a black cap chickadee and a Carolina chickadee? And you can see the both of them here. They are very, very similar. And it can be very difficult to tell them apart by just visually telling them apart. The way you tell them apart is by their calls. Now, the other way is location. Normally, birds that you find in the southern part of the United States up until Virginia are mostly Carolina chickadees, and birds north of that are mostly black cap chickadees. But the people who are really into this stuff, and including myself, the way you tell is by their calls. I'm not going to be playing the calls for you because I'm out in the woods and I really don't want to play the calls out here. But if you pull out your app, you can definitely hear the difference between the black cap chickadee and the Carolina chickadee. But it's exciting to take a picture of a bird that I don't see hardly at all in North Carolina. I don't see them at all in North Carolina, is black cap chickadees. I know they've been reported there, but I have never heard a black cap chickadee's call in North Carolina. With that said, you should never depend on me to identify calls because I'm never that good at it. But anyways, that's species number 4, a black cap chickadee. I'm having a really, really good time out here. And I think going up to the top of that hill and then working back was my best decision here. Normally I don't like to do that. I just don't, because I feel like I'm just walking by birds. But I made the decision today to do that. It was a little dark when I came in here, and I decided I was going to trek up that mountain, stay up there until the light got good and come down. And it's taken a lot longer to get down than I thought it would. I've been at this now, it's 10 o'clock here. I came up at 4 hours. So I came here 6 o'clock and I've been at this for 4 hours. I haven't seen a lot of birds. I've been hearing more and more, and like I said before, my hearing calling is not my strong suit. I'm much more of a visual person. But I'm so glad I'm doing this. It's just, I'm having an incredible time. And it's been a beautiful day out here. I mean, it was a little chilly this morning, but now, well, now it's getting brutally hot. The sun is out. But I'm almost back to my truck. So that's a good thing. It's been a long day. Granted, I've only been out here for about 5 hours, 6 hours, but it's been long and hot. So I'm going to end the video here. I had an incredible time though. I saw the black cap chickadee. That was a real good bird. Broadwing hawk, the wild turkey, and the red-eyed vireo were all excellent birds to see. I actually saw more birds than that, and I did check more birds on my eBird list. But those were the ones I was able to get some decent photographs of. And they're the ones I think were the most exciting. Seeing that black snake or rat snake was very exciting. I mean, I don't see those very often, and I just think it's great when you get a chance to see those. So I would give today a 10 out of 10. It's been incredible. It's been a beautiful 6-7 hours I've spent out here. And I am glad that I'm back to the truck. I mean, I drank through all my water, ate all my food, but it's good to be back. So I'm going to end the video there. If you enjoyed this video at all, please give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe to this channel because that really helps us in the YouTube world. Go to our Patreon website. We are going to start making media for our Patreon members pretty soon, so become a Patreon member. Also, all the links to my social media is down below. That's where I put most of my pictures. I usually post every day or every other day, so normally I'm posting something. So check it out. My name is Leahy. I want to thank you for watching.